hunt begins again.
Hello guys, it's Von and today we will speak about V Rising. I know that it's last summer's sour grapes, like we say in my country, but I had some recordings and I thought that I would like to share my opinion with you. Some months ago, I read that the game is going for a full release with new updates and everything, so I decided to start a new world to catch up and be ready to enjoy the new content. I did a full run like 10 days before launch, only to find out that everything was wiped and I have to start the game all over again. But the updates were a lot and great to be honest, so a new run even in 10 days, it was amazing time again. I had so much fun with the game and the new quality of life changes did impact the whole experience a lot. The game starts the same way it used to, in the graveyard where you get some basic instructions and you just smash skeletons, then you move to the main map and your adventure begins. Very fast I realized that the inventory was improved and it made it a bit easier to carry things and manage them. Something that was problematic for me in the past. We all hate bad inventories because we can't store everything. Guys, personally I want to loot everything. A very basic concept that someone has to understand is that the game has no story on its own basically, only the narrative that you have to follow in order to progress, and that is the bosses that you have to kill and where to find them. There are plenty of bosses and each one of them unlocks something very special for you and your progress, like recipes for new weapons, upgrades to your castles and much more. There is no mandatory order on who to kill first, but you should be aiming about the ones that are at your level, or how we call it here, gear level, because even one level difference can be very significant. I tried bosses that were like 2 levels or even 1 level above me and I was just dying. And then I reached their level and they were like the easiest encounter I had. In general, I like scenarios like this because it's very nice to play in a world and be the main character, but a character that you create and follow your own narrative and your own storyline. Sometimes there will be prolonged fights with the bosses and in many cases you will have mobs from around getting pulled into the fights. But in some situations it might make your task actually easier because it is monsters from different factions that they may fight each other and actually help you. And yes, this can happen with bosses as well. There are areas that bosses from different factions exist and they fight each other. This can also happen out in the wild because many bosses like soldiers, vampires, vampire hunters, werewolves, priests, they roam around the map of V Rising and they just hunt each other. In many situations, this might be a great opportunity for extra loot and some big advancement in gear and technology. Many things changed in the game, but I will not go into full details, but there are quality of life changes in crafting and storage that are amazing. And they added a huge amount of containers for all different crafts, so it's easier for players to manage their materials. Another very nice addition is the new weapons. At a 30 level boss, Lydia the Chaos Archer, you unlock the longbow, a new weapon, and I was very eager to try it and see how it works. Long range, channeling attacks for more damage, one nice AoE skill and one very nice single target skill. I loved it and I made my whole run with the longbow. Great addition to the game. Another weapon they added is the whip. Personally I didn't like it because it felt a little bit weird for me, but other players loved it. Go try it yourself and let us know. The combat in V Rising in general is great, simple as that. It's great, it feels great and can be fun and challenging at the same time. Movement, dodges, proper management, mechanics, combos, they are all there. I know that for some people the game was challenging, even in the normal mode in many bosses, so even if you don't like crazy difficult games but you want some challenge in your normal run, be sure that V Rising can be tough sometimes, and you will die. The game is not a Luna Park adventure for the average player. Okay, I know that some of you have supernatural powers, but not everyone is like you. It can be hard sometimes, but with a little practice, everything is doable. There are some very simple bosses that they just do 1-2 different attacks that they are easy and telegraphed, and there are some others that they do have more complicated mechanics that you will have to understand and learn in order to be able to kill them. And this made me very happy because there is a huge variation in bosses and their mechanics, and the game just doesn't feel repeatable, even if all you have to do is just track bosses down and kill them one by one again and again for like 50 bosses or something. My only problem with the game was that at some point around gear score 80 plus, I got pretty stuck because I was unlucky with the discoveries I was making in the study and wasn't getting any gear upgrades for a long time, and I had to keep doing farm runs until I was able to craft better gear to progress because I couldn't kill the next bosses. And it wasn't that bad, obviously, but it was completely out of the pace of the game so far. Everything was moving and progressing in a certain rhythm, and suddenly I got stuck there for like 2-3 days because of bad RNG. Overall, for me, the game is amazing. It's a game you can have at least 100 hours of joy solo or with friends if you prefer, and much more on PvP for sure if you are up for that. But remember, the game is fully worth it even if you want to do a solo run. It has some very nice features to offer, like you being able to build a huge medieval castle that you can customize to your liking, have your own servants that you can send them in specific areas to hunt for you, have your own vampiric undead horse, explore many different regions of the world that are all like different biomes with weather features, different populations and their own unique mechanics like thunderstorms or fog where you cannot check your map, for example. There are also world events that take place every once in a while that you can go kill some mobs, close portals and farm essential materials to craft and upgrade your weapons. This can be a little grindy if you want to make a lot of weapons, I know, but I can say that this is the end game grind that you have to do, in my opinion. This is what I understood. Finally, to sum it up, the game is a big plus for me, so if you want to play a chill and fun game during the summer, V Rising is for you. So, good hunting, have fun, and see you in the next video.
Subscribe.